Hi, beautiful souls. Maybe you're wondering what that even means, that you're a soul having a human experience. And I have to just put on the video and explain to you what this means so that you can enjoy this spiritual breakthrough during this spiritual warfare that we're all experiencing as this soul having this human experience. You have to understand that you came from the other side, okay? If you know that you're a soul, means that you're eternal, you're forever, you've had so many different lives, and you came from the other side with a purpose. You sat with your angels, with Jesus, with your spirit guide, and said, okay, I'm going to go down to earth and I'm going to be a human for a while, and I want to experience ... And on top of that, there's a huge mission, knowing that, okay, we were told on the other side, when we're in the glory of only pure love and light, it's going to be hard because there's a spiritual warfare going to be happening between darkness and light, and wrong and right, and all of you got to be the light. You've got to be the light. It's going to be really difficult. Can you do it? And we're on the other side like, well, bring it on. We got this. I know I can do it. And then you're born and you forget. That no wonder babies cry. The minute you're born, you're like, shit, I forgot what it was like to be human, because you can't experience any of those things on the other side. Hence why you want to come here and do that, because it's the only place where you have contrast. You right? So, okay. So in knowing that, it doesn't make it easier, but stay with me. I'm asking for an attention span right now. I'm sorry that they have done such a good job distracting everyone from this wisdom, but it's an all-knowing. So subscribe, stay with me, leave a comment, or if you have a question. By the end of this, I hope that you're going to have an epiphany, a transformation, a breakthrough, where you're like, oh, I get it now, and I can totally encompass this and embrace that I have an inner compass, and that I'm being guided, and that I planned all of this, and that this is a reason. There's a reason everything is happening for me. So here you go. So write out your lifeline and realize that you really never had a choice to be your true authentic soul. So if it's only happening later in life for you, congratulations. You just want it to happen at some point on this journey where you come back to that true authentic power you have. And we've been conditioned, our parents were conditioned, our grandparents, this has been in the making for many, many years. This spiritual warfare where it's like, they don't want us to know that we're a soul and that we can wake up and have absolute connection to source, and everything that's within and around us is magical. And once we start to connect, it's unstoppable what's possible. How do you think they built the pyramids? I often am like, makes perfect sense. If they were connected to each other and the divine, what could have happened? Woo! So it gets really fun. So you look at your life and you go, okay, I realize I never had a choice until now. And now you can start to look at your life differently and realize, okay, if I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, I'm not this name, I'm not these attachments to all of the roles and expectations and have-tos, and like, you have to go through like an onion and take off all of the layers to get to the core. Like, I remember going through this and realizing like, okay, well, if I'm not just a daughter, and I'm not just a partner, and I'm not just an educator, I'm not just a social worker, I'm not just a creator, I'm not just this, I'm not just, like, take all those layers away. Who are you? You're a soul. You're a beautiful source of energy. Here's the thing. They don't teach you, and they don't want you to know. That's meant to change. We're meant to change as frequently as the wind, as the weather, as the seconds on a clock. It's okay to change. But they did such a good job trying to like industrialize us all to believe that we're supposed to follow a script and to have a 9-to-5 and try and maintain balance and they've identified it in like thinking that you're going to get to a place where you'll have everything that you want and need, and everything is just going to be good all of the time. Now, it can be, here's where it gets so deep, when you awaken to that, every moment of change is that glory. It's not anything fixated in, like, the third dimension. It identifies it as like we get attached to what we can see, what we can touch, what we can taste, like just those physical human senses. But there's so much more than meets the eye. There's so much more than meets the eye. Everything is so magical in that you can create by knowing that your imagination and that you have a connection to source, your angels, your spirit guide. Remember, you made this contract and they're always trying to guide you, so you can't be distracted. But look what the system did. Taught us all to just stay so distracted that we never take the time to stay still, to remember, to connect, and to really awaken that inner power, your inner compass. How do you know what your soul's journey is? You're going to have to go back again to that lifeline and go, wait a minute, as a kid, remember, as a kid, I went back through pictures of myself and went, that kid loved nature. That kid was at her best when she was creating, when she was making videos, even with the old camcorders and stuff. Like, I used to love creating. And so somewhere life takes those things away from you and tries to give you all these other identities and roles. And then at some point you finally go, okay, you feel it, right? You really feel it, like, this ain't working for me. There's got to be more to life than this. And there is. That's your awakening. That's the beginning of the change. If you take it seriously and actually start to take action, break away all of those roles and expectations and have-tos, because you don't have to do anything. Now, I worked in childcare for over 25 plus years, and I seen how they were destroying souls along the way. Like, I used to be like, you're destroying my little Einsteins. You're destroying my little Einsteins. Because as soon as the phones came out, I would watch a mom give it to the 2-3-year-old, and that toddler could actually watch the phone and toddle behind mommy all the way into the daycare. And then the mom would rip the phone away from the kid and be like, bye, and we're soothing the child. I started to see how that became such a critical turning point in connection and helping that child be seen, heard, and validated. That soul. Like, I could always see even in their little toddlerhood, you can see their interests. Now imagine if we were producing programs for them that honored their soul, and you can see when they're a little builder, they're in the block section and they're building stuff that's incredible, and the nurturers, and in each of the different play areas, you start to see through their play what their soul is developing into. Our job, I feel, is to honor that. The system never allowed it. So from childhood, your soul is depleted right away. So, but we can come back to that. Like, you can come back to your own soul and be your own parent all over again, and forgive those before us who didn't know any better, who would have loved to honor that, but back then it was even denser. Like, the universe is now shifting. This is, again, that part of the spiritual warfare where they don't want us to wake up, but we're waking up, and there's this incredible shift, and everybody can feel it. And there's just this confusion from the human side of like, what am I supposed to do next? And the answer is whatever you feel most strongly in your heart. Know that you're going to be guided, because it's everything great is on the other side of fear. And fear is just a false illusion appearing real. F-E-A-R, like, it's an illusion, and it's been taught to us, right? You have to, again, look at that lifeline. Where was I taught that you got to play it safe and have a plan and have a plan B and make sure that you have sense of security, and all these are all false things. Because the minute that you decide, I'm going to take a risk, I'm going to follow my heart, I'm going to do it anyway, even if it doesn't make sense, I'm going to do it, you're going to see that magic, I have to keep using that word because how else do you identify it unless you've experienced it? It's magic. You will be guided to whatever is next for you. Like I've experienced it. Please subscribe, follow me, and check out my videos on manifesting and attracting everything that I know my soul desires. And the coolest part is it's always better than you could even imagine. And please use your imagination. Turn off these distractions. Get still, get silent, get grounded. Excuse me. I'm making a really, really bold statement here on the importance of turning the world off. And please take the time to get clear. Let your own mind come back, not the programmed one, your own clarity. And that is from silence, staying still, and asking yourself the questions. Who am I? What do I really love? What did I always really love? It's in there. You have all of the answers within you. Please know that. You're a beautiful soul. You're having a human experience like the rest of us. You're not alone in all of the darkness and confusion. But at the same time, you have this all-knowing, right? You have this all-knowing in you that's just like, I just know, like I know, but I don't know how I know. Because it's all coming from your soul, from your spirit, from the eternal you that just does know. And that's the shift. That's what we're supposed to do. Keep that frequency up. Live your best life. Starting today, make the conscious choice to do what's best for you, regardless, because you're a fingerprint. Remember that too. That blows my mind when I learned that. Like, you have a unique fingerprint that no one else ever will have. They're not going to be born ever after you with your fingerprint. No one was born before you. So that means you are unique, one of a kind, and definitely here for a reason, okay? Figure out what that fingerprint is. Divinely you, the soul that you are, and will always be. You're eternal. You're going to have more lives after this, maybe, if you want. I think so. But it's a journey, and so it's not about necessarily wanting the house and the kids and the car and the picket fence and that's all taught. Is that really what you want, or is there something else? Could there be something that's totally mind-blowing and no one's going to understand that truly is for you? That's the life you're supposed to live. Who says any different? That's another one of my favorite videos. Go back and watch one of my videos about who says anything to us and we all go, okay, and we do it anyway, and then we hate it. So we don't have to do that anymore. This is it. The time is now. Live your best authentic life. You have an inner compass. You have all of the answers within you. You came here with them. Follow your flow. Follow your heart. Follow your all-knowing. Ask questions. And you will live your best life. I promise you. Because I'm living it. And I just feel so guided to have to share it with you so that you can rise too. Together is how we rise. So again, feel free, leave a comment, leave a question. I'll respond. And if you want, I'll make another video to explain deeper anything that you need to know. That's what it's all about. Together we rise. Much love and light to all of you. Much love.